KILR Killer Game.
Hello gamers, simmers, and pilots. I am the Killer Gamer, and welcome to the tour around the world featuring Microsoft Flight Simulator 3.0. Boy, I've been saying this a lot that I'm kind of losing track of what I'm saying. But anyway, welcome. Remember to like the video and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that way you'll know about more Flight Simulator videos that are coming up. Just kind of want to throw that out there to start off with. Not that I'm trying to bribe you or anything, but either do it or you're not going to see anything at all. You're going to see nothing. Let's go ahead and talk about our flight, and we will go ahead and just pull up the map right there so that way you can see. We're here at Greater Kankakee, not Kankakee, Kankakee. And we're going to be flying here to Bloomington-Normal. I sure hope that's where we're going. You may be thinking, why? Why is that, Killer Gamer? What seems to be the problem? Well, let me tell you. When flying Microsoft Flight Simulator 2, I figured it was the same as the SubLogic Flight Simulator 2, because that map is actually the SubLogic Flight Simulator 2. And on the Commodore 64 and the Commodore Amiga, the airport's there. We went and flew to it. But on Flight Simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2, to my surprise, we got about 7 miles and there was just absolutely nothing. It was just black. Nothing. That was a surprise to me. So we loaded up scenery disc number 9 and boom, there it was. That was just kind of interesting that it was not part of the default scenery. So I'm hoping that it is part of this scenery. I'm thinking it is, because on Flight Simulator 4 it's there, and we've already done those videos. Flight Simulator 4 is on its way to Canada by now, but yeah, it should be there. The VOR is there. I had the VOR tuned in on Flight Simulator 2. But we were getting close and there just wasn't anything there. So we'll see what happens on this one. So VOR 108.2, 60 miles. Yep, this is going to be quite a bit of a flight. Let's see. I'll just go ahead and tune this in here. Click, 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 because we can't just click and hold. That would be too easy. It actually doesn't work. You have to click. There's no holding. See, if I hold it, I'm holding, I'm holding, I'm holding. It doesn't do anything. You have to actually click this. So that is going to be our heading is 234. That will take us right over there. And we'll go and take care of our drift on this. I think we're going to use the autopilot on this one. So let's go ahead and set our autopilot. Let's see. I'm not worried about heading lock. I am going to use the altitude lock. 3500. I think that will work just fine. All right. scratched my ear there for a moment. And I'd say we're ready to go. Go and turn our mags on. There we go. We'll go ahead and tune in our radio, Greater Kankakee Airport information. Mike 4, zoo, weather, temperature 60, etc., etc. Oh, take off at runway 4. So, where is runway 4? Well, let's find out. Should be off in this direction here. The taxiways are a bit designed weird in this area. Let's pull up the map and I'll show you. Okay, so that's what it looks like. It looks awfully weird at night because there's this blue polygon and you can see it a little bit right in front of us. It was kind of like a triangle shape. It was the same thing happened on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2 as well. It just looked like it wasn't drawn correctly. La, 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 la. Gonna head on our way to the runway. Runway, sunway, bumway, funway. Ah, see? That's what I was talking about. You see this here? It's just, it's bizarre. It doesn't have that during the daytime. You could see that when we had the radar map up, but at nighttime it's just, oh, it's like someone messed up when it came to the nighttime lines. We also advanced the clock another hour. So it's now 11:39 p.m. 11:40 p.m. Oh my, I'm tired. These old simulators can really be a bit trying on the eyes. Not to mention the engine sound. Getting ourselves lined up. I think that is close. Let's see. Flaps are up, landing gears down. Our trim is relatively, yeah, that's pretty much centered. Okay, let's go ahead and throttle up. Pull our elevator trim up just slightly, and the plane should just lift up on its own, nice and smooth. There we go. That was kind of weird. Did you see that? Half of the runway's in blue. They couldn't decide if it was a taxiway or a runway. Bring your landing gear up. That is the city of Kankakee right there. Alright, and we are turning around here. Going to 234, the heading. Kind of roll ourselves out here. Now we can make some small course adjustments. Oop, a little too much. Too much right there. And right back here to 234. And we'll set our autopilot on. There we go. Maybe we can level off here. Go and turn down our throttle here. Okay, magnetic compass is 230. We're going to have to move just a little bit to the right. I'm using the rudder to turn us just ever so slightly. There we go. We're set. We got 59 miles to go. Autopilot is set for 3,500. We can sit back and relax. And we will read out of our Microsoft Flight Simulator 3.0 manual. Because we got time to do so. And, well, there's not a whole lot to, see. So, we will read. About this manual. The manual presents all the instructions necessary to fly a flight simulator. It also contains sections on basic flying techniques, flying lessons, and charts for navigation. We recommend that you begin by getting the simulator running using the Getting Started instructions in this introduction. Then learn the instruments and controls in the Flight Simulator Basics section. Go through the Flying Flight Simulator section to get airborne. This acts as an orientation course for new pilots, and a check flight for those with previous flight experience. Experienced pilots may skip over the flight instructions sections, pre-takeoff check and landing in Chapter 3, flying the single-engine aircraft before flying the Learjet. All pilots should read Chapter 4, flying the business jet, to understand the control and realism differences. If you are a new pilot, proceed to the flight school section, where you'll attend a brief ground school, followed by basic, advanced, and aerobatic flying lessons, plus get information about navigation, flight analysis, and course plotting. Experienced pilots will also find flight analysis and course plotting quite useful. The rest of the manual is meant for exploring. Flight simulator configuration and navigation tells how to use the menu system to activate everything from surface winds to turning the sound on and off, Finally, if you prefer to have some video game-like fun, read the entertainment section. Throughout your flights, use the reference sections at the end of the manual. Look over these sections before going any further, just to get to know what's there. We'll just continue where we are. Terms that appear in italics in the text are defined in the glossary. If you would like further information on flying, we recommend that you read any of the following publications. They are available at fixed base operators, FBOs, or flight training schools at most airports. So, to learn about flying, you got the Flight Training Handbook by the FAA, Aviation Fundamentals by Jeppesen Sanderson, Instrument Flying Handbook by the FAA, Flight Physics and Aircraft Control with an Introduction to Aerobatics. It's from Moment and a manual. Other publications, Airman's Information Manual by Aero Publishers. And then you have your Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, San Francisco, and Seattle sectional charts. So, I believe we have 5 areas that we can explore, and the default scenery. Any of these publications can also be ordered directly from Sporty's Pilot Shop, Claremont County Airport, Batavia, Ohio 45103. I wonder if Sporty's Pilot Shop is still there. Let's take a look. Let's see. Pull up the internet here. Sporty's Pilot Shop. Claremont County. 2001 Sporty's Drive, Batavia, Ohio. Wow, let's see some photos. Very cool. I'll go ahead and pull this up on the screen so you can take a look at it. Here we go, Sporty's. Go ahead and click on some pictures here. Give you some visuals here. Looks like a fun place, actually. We looked at that one. Red telephone booth. Got some airplanes out there. Cool. Alright, let's back up here. So, would you like to know where it's at? Claremont County. I think this is the Claremont County Airport, and Sporty's Pilot Shop is right on there. Cincinnati Avionics. So, Claremont County, from Cincinnati here. Batavia is right over here. So, you're going to take the 32. Right out here. Not too far from Batavia itself. So, yeah, it's still there. And we've got 48.5 miles to go, and hopefully there's something waiting for us as we get there. Kankakee is fast disappearing in the distance. We got ourselves some roadways over here, and I got a feeling that Champaign is right in this area. Alright, let's go ahead and continue with the manual here. Flight Simulator Conventions. Here are a few conventions that will help you greatly when learning and flying Flight Simulator. Knowing these conventions will help you learn quickly when using the simulator, and will help refresh your memory of controls and menus after long periods away from Flight Simulator. Let's see. The Selecting this option causes the item following it to alternate among or cycle through a few items. Semicolon, selecting this option requires you to type something, and then press enter. Plus, this option is on. Selecting the option toggles it on and off. Period. Selecting this item causes another menu to appear, the number key. The keys following number can be used to activate the option from the keyboard. Do not press number first. So this is stuff that's in the menus that are across the top. And we saw that when we've been looking at stuff. For example, air traffic control communications. We can turn it on, but we can't communicate with anyone. I believe in Flight Simulator 4, you turn this on, and you can come here to COM radio, and it has an option to contact ATC. It's real simple. It's like permission to take off, permission to land. I think it gives you a transponder code. You get to the end of the runway and it tells you to take off or check your transponder. And you're good to go. Now with Flight Simulator 4, since you have a lot more options available to you in the form of adventures, which I have programmed adventures, and I even have a series on this channel. It's a cinematic series. You can go much further and program in air traffic control and chatter, and they can tell you what transponder to use and a whole bunch of fun stuff. Okay, so instruments and controls on the instrument panel have letters on them. These letters tell you which key to press to use the instrumental control panel. So we can see that here. There's a D, there's an A. This helps adjust things. Over here, H for carb heat, G for gear. Function key, although it doesn't tell you which function keys. M, 1, 2. So that's the 1, 2 on the keyboard. L for lights, O for strobe, plus minus for zoom. So you get the idea. Selecting an option takes you to a new menu. The escape key moves you back to the previous menu. When in any mode, press the spacebar to start flying again and to display the main menu bar. Click the mouse means to point at something on the screen with the mouse-controlled cursor and press the left mouse button. Pressing the right mouse button toggles between yoke and pointer modes. Don't try to fly this in mouse mode. It's not easy. You probably won't like it. Clicking the left side of digits or knobs on the instrument panel decreases the setting. Clicking the right side of it advances. So, go here. You see it. This goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up. About the designer. Flight Simulator was written by Bruce A. Artwick, president of SubLogic Corporation, Champaign, Illinois. SubLogic Corporation is a hardware and software firm specializing in high-performance graphic systems. Mr. Artwick gained extensive experience in high-performance, signal processor, architectural design, and microcomputer-based radar control systems at Hughes Aircraft Company. In addition, he has researched mini-computer and microcomputer-based graphics system design at the Aviation Research Laboratory and Digital Computer Laboratories, University of Illinois, where he received a bachelor's degree, Bachelor's of Science, and Master's of Science in Electrical Engineering, and is an aviation enthusiast and private pilot since 1975. I wonder if Bruce A. Artwick is still alive. I never really looked that up. Let's go back to the internet and find out. Alright, good old Wikipedia here. He is still alive. Born January 1, 1953. He is currently 66 years old. He graduated from University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. That's where he founded SubLogic. And this was eventually bought out by Microsoft. He was born and raised in Norridge, Illinois. Attended Triton Junior College. Here's SubLogic. Information about that. BAO Limited. In 1988, he left SubLogic and founded BAO Limited, retaining the copyright to Flight Simulator, which he continued to develop. BAO started off with 6 employees and grew to over 30 by 1995. BAO continued to grow and oversaw development of many aviation products and many different versions on various systems. The market by this time expanded to include flight simulator products for the FAA. It was there that BAO produced aviation-related software that would be implemented into things like tower control simulation to train air traffic controllers. In 1994, BAO released Microsoft Space Simulator. In 1995, it released Tower, an air traffic control simulator, which I have. In January 1995, BAO and the copyright to Flight Simulator were acquired by Microsoft. Artwick remained with the company as a consultant. So I guess he is still... Doesn't say that he's left or anything. So I wonder if he's going to be behind the new Flight Simulator 2020 that's coming out. Let's see. Trying to move behind me here. Aha. There it is. I'm going to stand up in my airplane here and pull this out. So here is Tower. This is the real-time radar and control tower simulation. It is Flight Simulator 5.1 multiplayer compatible. Includes 3 airports: Chicago O'Hare, Washington National, and Canyon Field. Got some realistic voice communication, modem or serial connection. So, good stuff here. Never played it. Never played it. But we will do a video. And heck, I might even do a review. Sure, there might be some interest in that. Oh my goodness, I got stuff that's about ready to fall down. Oh, there's an airline simulator too. Who's that by? Flight 1 Software. Might have to look into getting that. Come on, Flight Simulator 4, you're like kind of in the way. Oh man, what is on the other side there? What is that? Oh, that's my sound and graphics upgrade. Ugh. 31 miles to go. What else should we look at here? The following equipment is required: an IBM personal computer XT8AT personal system /2 or compatible, at least 256 bytes of memory, IBM PC with CGA, EGA personal system /2, and Hercules graphics adapters may require more memory. If so, the program will specify the requirement when you start. Or you can use DOSBox, which is not mentioned in this manual. At least one floppy disk drive, double-sided, low or high-density color graphics adapter CGA, enhanced graphics adapter EGA, personal system /2 graphics system, or Hercules monochrome or in color card. Appropriate composite monochrome or RGB monitor for your graphics adapter. IBM DOS or MS-DOS version 2 or later. Optional equipment includes a hard disk drive, Microsoft mouse, 1 or 2 joysticks, and a game control adapter card. Getting started. It's a good idea to make a backup copy of the floppy disk for emergency use. Wow! They encourage you to make a copy of your disk. They sure don't like doing that these days. You have to start IBM DOS or MS-DOS or DOS box. Insert Flight Simulator program disk. Type A. Then press enter to log on to drive A. Type FS. And then press enter to run Flight Simulator. I actually put in FS3. The 5 1/4 disc version is contained on 2 discs. Flight Simulator will ask for the scenery disk when required. Then we got information about the hard disk drive. And starting from it, answering the startup questions, startup sequence selection. Yeah, we can skip all that. Introduction menu and display device selection. The operating mode menu, so you got demo mode, regular flight mode, and demo without sound. Keyboard type selection, so you got the function keys on the left or on the top, or the Tandy 1000 keyboard. Logbook updating. Okay, we'll talk about this. Flight Simulator can keep a logbook of all your flights. You will be asked if you want to log this flight. If you answer yes, Flight Simulator checks to see if it can write to the disk. If the disk is write protected, Flight Simulator tells you it can't make entries in the logbook. If it can write to disk, it asks for an 8-character name of the logbook in which you want the flight logged. Type the name in abbreviated form of your name as appropriate. If the logbook doesn't exist, Flight Simulator asks if you want to retype the name, create a logbook with that name, or cancel the request to log the flight. Choose the appropriate option. For more information about logbooks, see Chapter 9, Logbook. Then you got your controls selection, no questions asked at startup. Look at this. From now on, if you don't want to answer the startup questions, start the simulator by typing FS3. That's what I've been doing. Exiting the flight simulator, you can pressing Control and plus C, or choosing Mode menu option 7, or pressing Control plus break. This returns you to DOS. Alright, the next part is making your first flight. Not going to worry about that right now. Oh my. It is nighttime where I am at. So, a lot like what you're seeing here. Uh, 22.5 miles. I guess it would help if I click on the window. Adjust that. Got that adjusted. Notice how there's nothing out here? I'm just hoping that you don't have to load a scenery disk yet. We will be after Champaign. And in fact, there's a feature on here where you can set it for automatic selection, so that way you don't have to manually change the disc yourself. It'll detect the area that you're in and load up the appropriate scenery disc, and it's pretty nice. Strobe lights on. I don't believe the strobe lights actually work on this version. See, there's no blinking. There's no blinking here too. Flight Simulator 4 does, though. You see a blinking light right there. Yeah, let's take a look at our spot plane here. There we go. Oh, well, we just went back to front view. I was going to change our camera view, but that didn't quite work out. I mentioned how we had to load scenery disc number 9 in order to get Bloomington on Flight Simulator 2. But even the scenery discs themselves seem to be missing airports compared to the SubLogic scenery discs. One example is St. Louis. It's like you tune into the VOR and you're heading that direction, and you see a little bit of scenery, and then 20 miles close to it, everything vanishes. And that might very well do the same thing on here. If the Flight Simulator 2 scenery discs are being converted to Flight Simulator 3, then we might get the same exact thing. If anything, that'll tell us if it was just a glitch with Flight Simulator 2 or if they really are missing. It's not something that I ever checked just yet. Oh my, I'm tired. I hope me yawning is not making you tired. No, but then again, we're flying at night. That might get tiring for anyone. Take a look at our windows here. Well, there's a line. I believe that's a road. I think that's the one that goes between Bloomington and Champaign. That is more than what we had in Flight Simulator 2. We didn't have any. Ah, there's the airport. So everything looks good. Let's go ahead and turn our autopilot off. Get about 10 miles, we'll drop our landing gear. We'll do a 1 degree of flaps, start to slow down a little bit. And we will get ready to land. Can't really see the runways yet. Not sure of the exact runway, but it's probably going to be like runway 21 or 22, something like that. Oh, and I forgot. This was the first simulator that you can change your DME to whichever nav reader you got. Click on this and you can go to nav 2, see? Click that on nav 1, distance, or knots. So, a couple different options right there. More itching. I'll be ready to sleep after this. Sometimes the only way that I can sleep is by staying awake until I get really tired. You know, tired enough where it's hard to keep your eyes open. I sort of kind of see the runway. It's like coming out around here somewhere. 9 miles. Better lower that landing gear. And 1 degree of flaps. I want to slow our descent down a little bit. We can try taking a look at our map and see if it shows up. Let's see. Ooh, my ears ring. Yeah, look at that. If it were daytime, we would have a checkerboard landscape there. I kind of see the runway. Yeah, it's like right around here. Go back here and turn that off. Go ahead and bring down another thing of flaps. In the last episode, we stalled the plane and nearly crashed it, I think. But we didn't. Okay, let's turn here. See, there is a bit of a thicker white line here, and I believe that is the runway that we want. Ugh. Bring up some throttle. Yay, 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 yay. Not sure if this is going to be a short runway or not. That other one is long. It's 1955. The year 1955. No, that's our RPMs. And the dots help us with our depth perception with the ground. That's what makes it nice about that. Okie dokie, let's see. Turn a little bit and you can kind of see the diagonal. We're getting close, not quite there yet. Although we are 3.9 miles. See that? You see how when you turn there's a little bit of a, you can kind of see that runway. And you know what? If you would like to fly Flight Simulator 3 and you want to follow along with me, that would be cool. Kind of like a cooking show. I mentioned this on Flight Simulator 2 as well. You have your cooking show on and kind of follow along with them when they're whipping something up in the kitchen, because you're trying to learn. And you could do the same thing here, too. Wow, somehow we overshot the runway there. Well, as far as turning. Two miles from the airport. Something tells me we need to lower our speed a little bit more. I'm not sure if I want to lower another degree of flaps. Because that lowered our speed to the point where we were stalling. Especially when I was doing a flare. Okay, we'll use our rudder to do a fine-tune adjustment of lining up here. There we go. Let's lower our... We're getting there. We're going to lower our throttle. Right in. That might be a little too much. Whoops. There we go. Coming right in. Pull it up, pull it up. Come on. Land for me. There we go. Throttle down. Flaps up. And go ahead and brake to a stop. There we go. We can go ahead and shut this off. I know we're in the middle of the runway, but there's no taxiways, so we'll just stay right here. So that's it. We're here at Bloomington-Normal. It was rather normal. We didn't have to change to scenery disc number 9 like Flight Simulator 2, so thumbs up for that. And speaking of a thumbs up, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. What do they say? Smash that like button. Well, don't put your fist through the monitor. That wouldn't be good. Just click it with your mouse. That would be awesome. And while you're clicking, click on that subscribe button too. Be a part of the community. It's a good thing. And there's that Taco Bell thing that you can click on, which notifies you when a new video gets uploaded to the channel. And that's a good thing too, because you might want to know when the next video of this Flight Simulator 3 series is uploaded, as well as other flight simulators that I've got in the works. So Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff already on the channel, and more good stuff on the way. But until next time, take care, and I'll see you on the next leg of our journey.